Good morning, everyone. This is a continued public hearing of the Abington Planning Board, and we're going to discuss amendments to the zoning bylaws this morning.
All right, so I think what I've left you is a copy of what you voted a week ago Monday. That's the bottom sheet, and then the one highlighted in yellow is the one that's the draft that's going into the warrant. The town moderator has gone through and cleaned it up, I guess, for lack of a better word. Switched around some words, just made it simpler, or more, gives more of an explanation. So what you guys need to do this morning is vote to officially withdraw those two articles that you did not want to move forward, and then vote to vote an affirmative recommendation to town meeting on the remaining proposed zoning bylaw changes. I did not get anything from the zoning board of appeals. They were apparently okay with what they got. And they actually did get this final copy because I did have that in time for them. So that is that. And I have an email from Bill Mullen saying there was no additional recommendations from the zoning board of appeals on the proposed changes. And I did have an email from town council. I think I forwarded it to you, I'm not sure. It was that she did not recommend simply referring to 17566 and the proposed amendment to 17550, if I keep my numbers straight. So we changed that back. I actually changed it back, and then Sean just changed a little of the wording, but we went back to the original article. Because that was your vote on Monday night, that if town council didn't agree with that, that we would default back to the original. So I think that's it from my neck of the woods. If you guys want to vote to officially withdraw I think it was 17538D. Yep. And then the other one was, which was the parking in the central business district, and then the other one.
Number of that one, Liz? Number?
The town moderator has encouraged us not to vote by number.
Okay.
So our articles actually didn't have any numbers attached.
Okay.
As of last week until they got inserted into the warrant. Only because if the warrant changes and we vote by number, then there might be a problem. So it's to withdraw 17538D, and then the other one was 17553, which was the reduction in parking requirements.
So moved.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
And then the next thing would be, if you want to just go through the highlighted yellow one by number, by zoning bylaw reference, not the number. It starts with Article 16 as I use the number. But yeah, 17534 and then 17543A. If you want to do them individually, you just want to make a motion for an affirmative recommendation to town meeting, you could do it that way too. It's up to you.
Move to recommend changes to 17534C as printed.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion to approve 175-43A as printed. Changes to 175-43A as printed.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Move to make changes to 175-50A as printed.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye. Move to make changes to 175-63 as printed.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And finally, happy to recommend changes to zoning bylaws 175-77B, 5K, 175-65, et cetera, as printed.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And those were all affirmative recommendations to town meeting with those changes that were made. Okay. The other thing I added to the agenda, just in case we had information, was Robert English Way. And I heard back from Mr. Kennedy that they have engaged an engineer to determine what and what is not in compliance with the new stormwater regulations. The review is expected to be completed in the coming weeks. We will then submit to the following to the board: a letter of compliance from the engineer and the list of changes, revised plans to outline these changes. So that looks like it's moving along. And
Very
then
good.
the last thing for you guys is, I didn't print out the letter. Did I send you guys a letter to Senator Keenan that Rick wrote?
No, I don't think so.
I didn't
Sorry,
see
I
it.
can send it to you today, but it was very well done. And the Board of Selectmen are voting tonight to endorse that letter, and John Stone has agreed to endorse it as well. And it's, as you know, looking for infrastructure money for MBTA communities.
It would request during the upcoming budget cycle to make two changes. One is to, for the list of eligibility for for street works, is it street works or mass works?
MassWorks.
Yeah, I thought street works wasn't right. PWED, iCube, some of the bigger infrastructure grant programs they have, is to expand eligibility to include municipalities looking to mitigate the impacts of coming into compliance with 3A. Right now, most of those programs only focus on economic development opportunities and don't allow grants to support housing. So we're thinking if we have a whole new mandate, we're going to have infrastructure costs to go along with that mandate.
Yeah.
Least we could do is expand what money we're eligible for. And then the second request is to put more money into those programs because we're going to have 170 towns who are going to need to make infrastructure improvements. Trying to remind them that not every MBTA community is on MWRA and has unlimited access to water and sewer. Reminding them not every town has 4-lane roadways by their train stations, that even if you support this law in its entirety, there's going to be real actual costs in implementing it. I bring to their attention a street like Summer Street, which is bracketed on both ends by failed intersections at 58 and 18. It's no sidewalk on that road, and if that's going to be the middle of our district, possibly, we need to upgrade that road. So either the state needs, if 3A is so important to the state for its housing and for its economic well-being, then we need to help towns afford the infrastructure to support it as well, or else it's just not going to happen. And you can get very grumpy towns. So that's a long way of putting it.
If you want to vote to tentatively approve it, I can send you the draft I have, and you can look at it. Like I said, the Board of Selectmen is voting to endorse it tonight, and you guys can look at it, and if anybody has any questions or changes, you guys can just let me know, and I'll let Rick know. That sound like a plan? All right. All right.
Need a motion for that?
Yes, I do.
Make that motion.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. So I think that's it. I will just let you know, I did meet with Dottie from OCPC last week, and they've drawn up, she left us a map with our half-mile radius circle around the train. She's going to present a report and 4 options to the board. We went through what some of those options that you guys have talked about. One Center Abington, one maybe the air base, et cetera, et cetera. So we're going to be working back and forth on that. It's all going to be done by June 30th. So she suggested a couple of things that you guys can think about. One is a meeting with the Board of Selectmen, a public hearing, to kind of go over the report that she produces. So the residents in town will know what's coming. We can do plenty of public outreach after that as well, but that would be a good place to kick off. She thought sometime in April. So I think the selectmen meet April 10th, the week after town meeting. So that was one thing, and then the other one was to add inclusionary zoning to whatever zoning bylaw you adopt, only because as the numbers go up, your threshold for affordable housing goes up, and that if you start to include it, and it won't be necessarily for 2 units, because that doesn't work. But you guys can think of a number, she'll probably recommend a number, whether it be 5 units or 10 units, that a portion of them need to be affordable, so we stay even with what our goal is from the state. So a couple of things for you guys to think about. And that's all I have from that. I'll get you information as it comes in. And I left you the Southfield redevelopment plan. There's a meeting this Wednesday and the 29th, I think.
Yep.
If anybody wants to attend, it's down at the air base. I'll actually send you where it is on the air base. If anybody wants to go. The meetings are open to the public, and they will be discussing this plan.
Sounds good.
All right.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, motion to adjourn?
So moved?
Second?
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Right.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Have a great day.